Welcome back to Getting Worked. It's your boy Jarrett. I'm hanging out here with my boy Ian. Man, it's been a minute since I've seen you, man.
It
How's
has.
life?
Doing good. Doing good.
Anything cool happened this weekend?
Nah, I don't remember anything really major.
Not at least nothing that you could see anyway.
No, nothing. I saw nothing actually. There was
I saw
nothing that I
nothing.
saw.
I saw nothing too, Brian. I saw
I went
absolutely
to
nothing.
DC and everything, but yeah, they just kind of, there was a lot of lights, a lot of walking around and people high-fiving and everything, but got to the ring and there was no one there. So it was kind of strange.
All right, enough with the jokes. Of course, we're talking about Saturday night's main event. Ian and I both had the honor and the privilege. Well, just say honor and privilege. I mean, we bought the damn tickets like everybody else there. But hey, we got a chance to see Saturday night main event this last Saturday to watch John Cena's final match, especially, plus everything else. Yeah, so what do you like, just in terms of, let's just start up because we're going to go over everything in general. We're going to go over things relatively in order, especially for folks that are new to Getting Worked. Ian and I like to go off on tangents, so that's why
it's specifically said we're not doing that tonight. We are going to stay on. We've had this discussion. We are staying on topic. It's about last Saturday night's main event. It's about John Cena tonight. All that, So we're on task.
We've got a structure, we've got a outline, but we know how that goes. At least somewhat keep us on track. All right. So let's hop into it. Let's really actually kind of talk about everything, because it was a true to form, like, pay-per-view, but what are they calling them now? Premium live events now, PLEs. I grew up in the 80s. They're pay-per-views. Yeah. So,
well, this one technically wasn't even that. This was just Saturday night main event. Not even technically. This was just Saturday night main event, quote public television. It's Peacock Network. You could just watch it if you have that. So it was supposed to be just on. So that was, I get it. I actually kind of liked it. I thought it's the way, it wouldn't have been the way that they did this type of match 5 years ago. Not even that. This would have been a headlining WrestleMania type of an event. I don't think I'm kind of speaking out of turn when I say that. At the very least, headlining one of the big four, either WrestleMania, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, or Rumble. There would be one of those big ones that it would be headlining. So anyhow, it was well laid out.
I was thinking about that, and I was thinking, okay, well, this is really kind of their last December event, before the holidays and the new year, leading into January, and basically then all the talk's going to be about the Rumble. And if you think about it, I think given the timing on things, I think John wanted to end things out at the end of the year, and obviously they had that well established. They had that timer set up early on through the year.
Yeah, you could tell by the way everything was laid out. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. That's the biggest thing. I was gonna say we're gonna get into it here in a little bit. Yep, Pebbles. I see Pebbles on asking if it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a blast. Great seats. Like perfect view. That we were sitting on the side so that everything was facing us as they were.
Well, I think that's a good segue into basically what's going to be going into and basically we're kind of talking about the opening thoughts, but as part of that is also talking about the venue itself. I was actually pleasantly surprised that we were able to get, because sorry, let me finish sentences. I was pleasantly surprised that we were able to get tickets when we did, as we did, because if you don't know, if you happen to watch our last stream, this all came together.
All of this came up live.
Like that for us, because it was like, oh, wait a minute, this is in DC. So if you don't know, Ian's in Virginia, I'm in Idaho. I'm originally from Virginia and same area. That's how we know each other. And then it was like, oh, wait a minute. Okay.
This could be a
this
thing.
Is
a real thing.
Make the trip out there. I could crash with him for a good part of the trip. We could make the whole, and anyway, it was like, I mean, come on. John Cena's last match, DC, basically in our backyard.
Right. It's a 2-hour drive from where I'm at. So yeah, it was perfect. It was a great layout. And I enjoyed everything about it. It was getting in. The worst part was just getting into the arena itself. That's it's just what you expect. It was wall to wall
even
people.
all in all.
But yes, that's what I was just ready to say. It wasn't that bad.
Wasn't bad.
And everyone was. This is one of the things I enjoyed the most about it. It was a moment in time, and if you haven't done like the live event, especially at this type of an event, it doesn't even have to be wrestling. Like, it doesn't really usually matter, but one of those iconic moments in time, everyone's happy to be there.
Yeah.
Everybody, like, everything else that goes on with world whatever is outside.
Everyone's there for the same reason.
Inside, it didn't matter. If you couldn't speak the same language, no big deal. Hey, you knew what this meant. You were happy. It was. Everybody was courteous. You always think big crowds, it can be crazy. Everyone was just happy. Everybody is in the moment and they're enjoying it. It's so great to see. That was one of the things that I enjoyed the most about it.
And in and of itself, you bring up a great point, because it also then begs the call out that the world needs stuff like that right now.
Oh yeah.
Things where everyone can just come together, and it's just everyone's there for the same reason.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, like, we saw the one guy with the sign that says, "If Cena loses, we riot." So it's like, all right, we know what you're expecting, bro. But
even that, we would have all been on the same side.
Probably.
We were all on the same side.
And nobody rioted. So but Ian mentioned the view, like the picture in the background is a picture I took of the ring from our seats. I've got maybe some of the contrast and brightness up a little bit to make it pop, but this was the view from our seats. And I was very surprised that I was able to get those seats
as late as we came up with that idea.
As we came in with it, and the place was packed.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there were a lot of people just hopping in, they must have been last minute, because I was even looking like 2 nights before, and there were still some seats available. The place was
not the night
fully
of,
packed. No, the place was fully packed. I don't think there were, maybe out of the whole, like they were saying, it was like 19,000 plus in attendance.
Yeah.
And
I think this is one of the times that's a real number.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was even a lower number. Than the
might
ones
might
that
have had some,
just a standing
they
room
still
only
have to
type
get
of deal.
some,
Yeah.
Because
so
it was just jam packed.
Right.
And I think especially, and I think in a way it was kind of nice, because the view that we got was where the hard cam is set. And that's kind of what I was looking for. So a lot of what we got to see in the ring was a lot of what you get to see during a pay-per-view. And they had the screens above us where you could see the camera feeds in the ring, for a lot of it too, because that's the only thing about a lot being live is that if you're just watching the ring, you don't get to see all of the nuances of the match. I mean, especially like the finish of the final match, which we'll talk about later. It was a good thing they had those screens, because our view wasn't the main view in that case. It was off to the side. So, but it helped because you get to see both. You can really see but just being able to see it live like that was just incredible. And
I did want to talk a little bit too about for the first time. So, we always hear about the piped in noise, the crowd noise, the piped in, they're using the crowd type of thing. I noticed that all chants started from out what was our right, or in the picture to the right, really low, and then it was all crowd. There wasn't. I think that they started the crowd. They may have started the chant with
some though. They were very I would say I'd probably say at most it was 50-50, because there were plenty of very organic stuff that WWE wasn't going to pipe in.
But no. I don't mean piped in like the crowd was. It was not a dead crowd by any stretch of the imagination. So I don't mean it. I don't mean it that way in any way. I'm saying a lot of times people are like, oh, they just pump that crowd noise in. They pump that crowd noise in. They started some. They would start. It was more like an orchestra. I think in like an orchestra. The conductor. It was more like, okay, this is where we're going to start. It would be really small because all of the chants did start from our right, and the odds of that are pretty low. Just in general.
Sure. And I mean, in a way,
that's where all their production was and stuff like that. And it does help. It does.
It does kind of help.
The moment it got drowned out, you can tell the difference. Yeah, I was gonna say you could tell the difference being in the audience where you're looking around, going, okay, none of us are chanting. Why is this so loud? Oh, okay, that's crowd noise being pumped in. It wasn't that. It was more like, let's go Cena, and then you would just hear everybody, they're yelling at Cena or booing, like a little bit of booing Cody early on. I was gonna say we can. I don't know if you were ready to hop over to that yet, but a little bit of booing of Cody, and then everybody kind of jumped back on his side. But
I think so.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think this is a good chance because it, despite rumors to the contrary, it did open up with someone else other than Cena's last match, which was a big crazy rumor set going ridiculous. On. It was, but luckily it wasn't, because it would have made no sense. But it did open up with Cody and Obafemi.
Anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, by the way, there was a rumor before the match, or before the Saturday night's main event, that Cena's match was going to go on first, which would have made no sense. It would have just been it would have killed everything after that. Absolutely everything, because everybody would have left. I mean, that's like, unless you have some big twist at the end, but it's like you're going out of your way to make it extra. So I'm glad they did not do that.
Right before we jump into that, actually, let me pop back in here. So I do just because I do have some pictures of us kind of waiting for everything to start.
Sure.
Not a lot. But again, this is basically a wider set for the same view I have in the background without everything saturated. But again, like, you want to get like a very clear idea of what we were seeing while we were sitting there, standing there, everything in between. This was our shot, and I mean, it was awesome. We saw basically everything. I think the only thing that hurt us in that part of the ring was the way they built the entrance. They kind of had this long hallway kind of set up, almost kind of an alley. And so you didn't get to necessarily see all of the entrances. Mm-hmm. But again, they had the big screen at the top. You could usually catch most of it from the cameras.
Who was coming down, but yeah.
But yeah, that was probably the only thing I would say was even remotely a negative, and that's I'm griping. I'm really pulling. I'm trying to find something to, complain about at this point. Because I mean, it wasn't very long where you could see everybody, and usually most of their like stuff with their entrance, they were still doing it once they got past. Of course, this is the big screen that we could also see while we were sitting there, and this is where we get different camera angles and everything. This is a sign in the 33 seconds before the start of the event. And then just another great view. I think, the lighting and the color scheme I thought was also pretty cool, because it almost kind of had kind of a New Year's vibe to it. Mm-hmm. Which I thought was kind of cool. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. And you know, I don't know who these clowns are, but yeah, we're hanging back. Poor guy in the back. Yo, what's up, dude? I don't know you, but
I was gonna say.
you're internet famous now. But yeah, we're kicking back. It was awesome. Also, we were on the end too, which the only problem there is if people had to if they had to leave, everyone had to get up. I mean, it's the trade off. But at least if we had to leave, we could pretty much just go and get whatever we needed to get. And it was a good event. It was a good venue for it too. I think it was laid out fairly nice. Surprisingly easy to get in and out of. These poor guys, and this camera, if you watch the pay-per-view, this camera's huge because it's the camera that goes
just how big that camera is
around the ring on these cables, getting the shots of the crowd and getting shots of the ring. And when Ian and I arrived to get our seats, one of these guys was working on the camera. They were really pushing to try and get everything fixed, and they were working their butts off. So shout out to these two guys because they were working really, really hard to make sure that they were doing what they needed to do.
Something was not going well with that camera. He was having a day. He told, we walked in, I was like, hey, how's it going? He was like, not great.
Not great.
But it really came out, and the way those cameras move is just amazing. Like, again, we'll get to, we're going to say, we can jump to the, let's jump over to the,
I just want to kind of give some of this sort of the idea of, one thing I did want to catch on here too, is because they had a whole slew of people from WWE there, but they have, the guy in the red, got the back shot. That's RVD. I didn't catch who the blonde was. I don't know if you I didn't get a good look at her face and on the camera. It always seemed like,
dude, now that you say that, I couldn't figure it out either until later, and I did, and then I forgot.
But anyway, that's Rick Steiner beside her. There's Mark Henry in the suit. Kurt Angle next to him. Eva Mendes, if I'm not mistaken, was next to Kurt here. And then we got Trish Stratus at the very end. And then later, Sami Zayn
Mendes was there.
Came in and sat in here with them, with his kid. Actually, he had the earmuffs on and everything. And John gave him a shot and kind of gave him a little bump and everything.
Sami Zayn and all.
Yes, it was Sami Zayn.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. And his kid. It was pretty cool. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's the main one. And then, anyway. Oh, there's another shot that I got that I thought was also really, really cool because it laid out 17 world champion, 5-time United States champion, 1-time Intercontinental champion, 4-time tag, 2-time Royal Rumble winner, 726th televised match. And
I thought his IC championship win. Did you hear him talking about it? He was. John Cena is usually so measured on everything he says, like, you know, company line, company man, all that stuff. You could tell he cared but didn't care as far as that IC. He was like, what am I going to do? Put it on a resume? I thought it was, I can't remember what interview it is, but the way he just so flippantly said it was hilarious. So every time I see that now, that's all I can see. He was like, yeah, what am I going to do? Put it on a resume so I can get a job? What is that going to do me? So, yeah.
So, anyhow. All right. Let's hop into the opening match, which was
talk
Cody
about the ruler
and Obi Fema. Now, it's going to be kind of a mixed bag of pictures here because Ian and I were both taking pictures. And I kind of just tossed them to folders here. But this was a really good shot of Cody with his belt and everything else. I will say, there was some booze and everything, but during Cody's entrance, everybody was on board.
Everybody was in on it.
Everybody was in on it.
The rumors of his demise are greatly exaggerated. I gotta tell you.
Exactly.
He is very over. Yeah, Cody was hot, and so was Oba. Oba came in, and I mean everybody's in on it.
And again, I think and I guess it's a good chance to kind of talk about the other aspect of the format for this particular event.
Yeah.
Because other than Cena and Gunther, it was primarily WWE main roster folks going up against NXT, with the exception of the tag match where we had an NXT person and someone from TNA, who was actually the X Division champion at the time. And so, Cody going up against Obi Fema here, and we got Oba coming in with his full on Nigerian warrior garb, and the almost kind of similar to the Shawn Michaels walk a little bit, but he's making his way to the ring. But Oba's like the current NXT champion, and I think part of Cody, neither one of them worked like true heel, but I think if anyone did, it was Cody was working more heel than Oba was. Oba was just working just straight powerhouse, and that gave Oba a chance to shine, and
it also makes sense on a experience level. Cody has to run. He
can run the match.
Yeah. He's because the heel always carries the match or calls the match rather. So
this one got a little bit blurry, but
it was blurry.
And I think some of his compression just kind of getting it moved over, but the way the spotlight hit him when he was doing his whole thing was just incredible.
Some people just have that star power. He's one of those.
Yeah.
He walks out, and it's not size; it's presence. It's.
And he's not terrible on the mic.
No, he's not. He's not at all. Yeah, I'm very interested to see where he goes. So this is where Jarrett and I usually kind of come back and forth. I was going to say you might switch to the other view, but where Jarrett and I kind of come from two different ways. Jarrett's usually very much about the booking aspect, the business of it all, the story writing, all of it. Where is this going to go? Where is it going to take? Why is this happening? I'll come at it from the pure fan side. Mark, if you want, like whatever version of that. Sure, I see but I want to, suspend my belief and go into it. Oba is one of those that you see, he's just really, you're just watching and you're going along with whatever he's saying. Like, yeah, that's what this is. And not everybody has it. If you ever want, there's some there are some on the main roster. I was going to say NXT, but NXT is just a little more obvious. There's ones on the main roster that I'll go, okay, yeah, so this is a good time for a bathroom break. He's not one of those. Like everything he does is intentional, and it is a little must-see TV. Like it's not fully there. Like you can tell he's. But all the pieces are there, and he's really good. Like I'm very impressed, and I'm rarely super impressed.
He's got some polishing to do, but not much. Sure. And I think, really, to be honest, I would say that
that's why he was on this show.
Give him maybe a little bit more opportunity, kind of in that championship position. But beyond that, I would say then it's more of a matter of getting experience at the main roster. Like, it's almost like he's kind of, I think he's at a point where he's only going to be able to learn, but so much more in NXT. You got to throw him. You got to throw him into the wolves, man. You got to throw him right into it. Yeah,
it's completely time.
Yep. So again, this was some of the stuff kind of gets a little bit out of order by getting some of the pictures in.
Yeah, we don't have to go through. We wouldn't have to go through every single picture, but it's more so.
Drew McIntyre jumped into here, and then I think the way they handled this was also really good because it kind of helped to establish Oba. Yeah, even though he was going up against Cody, it was more of a professional against professional, athlete versus athlete, and it wasn't necessarily
face versus face, baby face.
Pretty much.
It was,
and Oba wasn't having any of this because also it was like, Drew, you stole my moment here, really.
Yeah.
What else? This is my time to shine. This is my time to show everyone what I can do. This is my time to potentially beat a main roster champion.
Yeah.
You know, so Oba wasn't having any of it, and they beat the crap out of Drew. He was about to
beat the face that runs the place.
I mean, Oba had, I mean, there was a lot of, and there's some of the stuff where I want to show. So yeah, this is some more of the entrance here. Again, I think this is getting some more of my stuff, my pictures. I had to throw this picture in because it's funny because Cody's. Oh, wait a minute, I got to go back to the thing here, because yeah, we can actually get into the match. I thought that was a great picture because Cody, the one you showed me, like on Sunday, where Cody's kind of floating.
Oh yeah, he's floating. It's that one of, yeah, it was probably one of mine. Yeah,
and then just some little like kind of in air shots. This was Cody doing. Excuse me, a Cody cutter off the ropes. This was Cody kind of jumping up, kind of doing a reversal off of a potential power bomb, and another Cody cutter. And then, yeah, this is again all the stuff with Drew. Drew McIntyre popping in. All in all, I think especially for an opening match, I thought this made a lot of sense because it really got the crowd hyped. It really kind of helped draw everybody in. Both of them, like, just I didn't catch any issues, like no botches, no and I don't know exactly, I'm trying to remember how, I think this one was closer to like kind of around 20-ish minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't,
all said and done.
Super long.
But I mean, I think for an opening match for not a super long event, really. I think that they did a good job of letting both Cody and especially Obi shine here. Oba Femi shine here. So I think it was pretty good.
Disrespect the ruler.
I know. So then next after that, we don't really have a whole lot of pictures here. I just wanted to get some entrances for both of them. Bayley and Sol Ruca. So Sol Ruca is currently the Women's Intercontinental Champion, which is an NXT championship. And Bayley's coming in without a belt. Obviously, Bayley's now veteran, but also a long time NXT veteran. She was in a lot of. Yep. What's up?
I was gonna say real quick, just a heads up. Sorry for a background thing. In YouTube is still the short view.
Okay. I can't do anything about it now.
No worries. I just wanted to put that out there in case. That is I'm saying it more so for the stream as well. We are working on that still, so we'll get that.
I don't understand why that's doing that because that's not what it's supposed to do. But okay.
Yeah, so if you're seeing that, we appreciate you being here. We'll get it fixed.
If anything else, there's a couple other plugins that I can try and see if they work better.
Yeah.
So, okay, this match in particular, one, we didn't get a whole lot of pictures because we were just watching it because this one started hot and fast. And I think it went a decent amount of time, but it was because Ian and I actually we thought that this might be a good opportunity for us to try and grab some merch. And I think all in all it worked out. I think relatively speaking he got his lock. And he said, I'm wearing my wristbands and my armbands and other things. And
I got a shirt and a couple of little things here and there.
And so, this match, I think, again, also really helped to highlight Sol Ruca as a potential star. And we went back and watched the pay-per-view to see the parts that we missed. And good Lord, they really highlighted.
It was even more impressive.
Everything that she could do.
It was impressive live. When you watch it back and because you do the slow-mo, it is amazing what she does. Like if you haven't seen one of her matches, go watch one of her matches. I had not seen her, so I don't keep up with NXT nearly as much, at least not as I used to. I would watch I will watch her for a couple of reasons. I'll be the douchey guy for a second. She's gorgeous. So, but outside of that, it's amazing in the ring. Like stuff she was doing. She's doing a handstand to feet. Bayley would try to kick her. It's hard to even describe. She was on the outside of the ring on the apron, and she was on her hands, like walking with so handstand. Bayley goes to punch her. She pops off of her hands and lands on her feet. So Bayley, of course, misses. So Bayley then tries to swing back and hit her feet. She jumps back to her hands, walks a little bit, gets away from it. They do that once or twice, kind of back and forth. And it doesn't sound nearly as impressive as when you saw it done.
Yeah.
And then the one where she flips out the ring, and then her finisher. The finisher was go back and watch. If you don't watch anything else in this match, watch her finisher and see what that looked like. Because
I would say watch the whole thing, because it's
not a long match.
It's not a long match, and everything that Sol Ruca does just outdoes the previous things. You can tell they're really trying to highlight her here.
Here's the bar.
Because there's the finish, and then there's basically think about someone doing a one-handed cartwheel on the rope, not off the rope, like one hand on, like on the rope, cartwheel into a move.
Yeah. Hurricanrana?
You don't see a lot of people. I think it went into Hurricanrana. That was the hurricane. It's like it doesn't even matter where it went to.
The least impressive part of it. Yeah, it was like, I've seen that before, but I've never seen the setup like that.
The setup of it was insane. So
and quick and clean. It was there was no miss. So,
but again, I think really the purpose of it was to really highlight up and coming stars here, and I think they did a really good job. So we're gonna Sol Ruca, and I think we're definitely going to see her, moving forward.
Was Cena making up for all his years of throwing, shoveling, and burying talent? Is that what you're saying? Is that what? No.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't. You're
all
the one.
Positive. All things positive.
You're the one doing all this stuff. I ain't getting involved with all that. So the next match, and again, you want to talk about starting like hot start. The next match was the tag match.
Mm-hmm.
And that was AJ Lee, and then I forget the other gentleman's names.
That was the tag team of AJ.
Tag team.
Yeah.
So
AJ Styles.
AJ Styles and Dragon Lee are one of the tag team champions, right? And then they had a gentleman from NXT, and then the current X Division champion. I couldn't remember. I can't remember their name because I never really saw either of them until this match. But good lord,
TNA, not NXT. Yeah.
One's NXT, one's TNA. So there's also kind of, it's not like these two tag together.
Right.
Hardly ever, if at all. I'm assuming they might have done some dark matches together to kind of get some rhythm together since they're tagging.
Yeah.
But they're coming in. They're I mean, like you could tell, they're all both very athletic, very quick, very just like primed, ready to go. As they're coming in doing their entrances, and then they're coming in, and then they've got, of course, AJ coming out. He does his whole thing and basically establishes himself. Be very curious to see, because he's supposed to retire here in 2026.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of a not preview, but I guess preview in a way. The rumor has it that Gunter may be trying to pull Avengers Endgame, and collect all the Infinity Stones. So he was going to retire. I believe he retired Goldberg.
Right.
He retired Cena.
Yep.
He may, maybe does he retire Lesnar? Lesnar's probably not long for this world either. AJ Styles, does he retire AJ Styles? Is he just gonna is he now Thanos? That's really what we come down to.
I think with the rumor mill starting, and we'll talk about Raw later, but I think, like current signs are pointing towards some kind of a standoff here between these two guys, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But all in all, this match was very good. Got a shot of Dragon Lee coming in. He had like this whole like vest on with some dragon wings on the back. Dragon Lee's a solid guy. I mean, just again, I think he suffers a bit because of being a Spanish wrestler. Luchador is you know, English is definitely not his first language, and so I think he, you know, it can be tough to really move forward. Which I think again, partnering him up with AJ Styles here kind of helps to bolster him up and gives you someone that can be sort of more of that mouthpiece and that man up front, because, you know, enough people watch what AJ's doing, then it makes a lot of sense to have them together like that.
I was really impressed with, honestly, we talked about Javon Evans, Leon Slater.
That's the one. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Those they started this match like you were saying, super hot. I mean, nothing but they're hitting in and out the ring. AJ Styles was laid out for the first probably like I say 5 minutes.
Well, that's what I mean. Where it hit high, the whole match started hot,
it was
and
there.
they knocked him out, and he was pretty much hanging out in the entrance alley for a good 5
like 10
minutes.
10 minutes
at least.
But it wasn't that long. But he was out. It was the 3 in the ring for the longest time, to the point where you notice it. Like, wait a second, what? AJ, like, where is he? Yeah.
Well, and again, speaking about that blind spot, because we couldn't even see him in that kind of as in part of the entryway there. I think he was just laying there kind of hanging out, and then eventually you could see him crawling his way up to the corner there to get in the tag position to make the hot tag.
He was just hanging out talking to Trish Stratus. I mean, I get it. Just sorry. Good for him.
And you know, there could be worse things to do with your time. You know,
worse things to do. Right.
But I mean, again, I think this was a good kind of hot paced, fast action match. Really kind of helped to get. I mean, I think they were really doing a good job, kind of just building.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a lot of matches on the card, so they really had to kind of get everything in. You know, like with especially the matches leading up to the main event. They really had to come in with something very explosive, very noteworthy, and again, especially since it was serving as a vehicle to let a lot of this younger talent shine. All in all, I think they did a really good job. I'd say the only like truly, I would say the Bayley Sol Ruca match had some missteps, especially Bayley had that one move in the corner where she was trying to do a slide and it just didn't. I mean, you know,
that stuff happens. I don't try to.
I don't
really try to call that out because.
But I was saying, like, all in all,
it's every night, all the time.
No,
especially with people that don't do it all the time.
No, what I was saying here was that for them overall, even with a couple little botches here and there, I think all in all is a very clean event. Pretty like clean. Everyone was really like, and because I don't think it's like AJ had the one slip up on the.
He missed his phenomenal forearm. He jumped. He missed.
Which is all. It's unfortunate because it's like, you know, it's one thing to botch on like some kind of transitional move or whatever, but to like it's like a signature move. You know, it's unfortunate, but okay.
It happens. He's a pro. He immediately, he went immediately to the Styles Clash and. Match was over.
Well, and then they had a really good lineup here with they had a setup where basically they had and it was one of the opponents jumped from the top rope and he was able to do the capture,
right,
and then like transition it right into the Styles Clash and just
because he counted him in power bombs in there, I think.
Yeah, well,
And
that's
then
right. Yeah, he power
like,
bombed him at that point, and then moved into the Sol
then he
Splash
picks him
later.
up and
Yeah,
goes.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
It was outstanding.
Yep.
Again, very well done. Perfect. There wasn't a bad match, especially in ring match.
No.
They were all really. I'll be honest with you. At first when I saw 4 matches, I'm like, 4 matches, that's nothing. Kind of liked it. It was pretty quick. It was all like
straight to the point.
It was straight to the point. I could be okay with that. I would, it's nice to have the 17 match WrestleMania cards and stuff like that, but it was kind of nice just having they could finish their story, like they could tell the story in the ring.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, oh, we're going to be up against commercial, or we're going to, we can't eat into, this time or that time. They laid it out really well. So
yeah,
I thought that was another really, really big plus to the night. So anyhow.
So at this stage of the night, everyone was pretty much getting ready. Everyone's like, okay, we know, because the card was laid out ahead of time. Outside of rumors around the order of things, everyone pretty much knew what they were getting. And they had Stephanie, and I forget the other gentleman's name. He's kind of becoming kind of the lead announcer on Raw right now, kind of taking Michael Cole's place.
It's Michael Cole. Do you not know? I'm just playing.
I can't remember the gentleman's name.
Wayne Barrett?
But no, the other guy.
The other dude, yes, they did switch him.
Because he was with Wade Barrett on Raw the night after. And I think he's someone that they're looking to hand the keys from Michael Cole over. Doesn't mean Cole's getting up there.
You don't think about it, but Michael Cole has been around very much.
Long time.
Very much. He was the announcer in the back during a lot of Rock. I was gonna say John Cena because I'm staring at it. A lot of Rock made fun of him a lot of times.
Oh yeah.
And the original Rock with the Nation Rock, that guy.
Yep.
Not the Hollywood version.
Yep.
Yeah. So or Final Boss or anything else.
They're having a conversation, and we start seeing someone in the ring, because especially being there live. And I was looking at him like I think the way he was walking around, we're just far enough back where it was kind of like, wait, are they bringing in Gunter without his thing? Like, why would that happen?
Yeah, I was like, this is the weirdest setup ever.
And then it's like, no, wait a minute, no, that's the Miz. And it was the way they did it. Basically, they did a timing on it, because at some point in time during the conversation, Stephanie said, "This is gonna be," and then as soon as he did that, he was like, out with the mic, awesome. And so you have the Miz. And if you don't know, this is the gear, the getup that Miz was wearing when he beat John Cena at WrestleMania.
That's the one where the little girl, like every meme ever they show it over and over. That little girl, she's just like pissed off in the corner. She's grown now. I mean, that's how old we're all getting.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But she probably has kids that age now. But so she's like all scrunched up. It was when he beat Cena for the title way back then. So
yep. And so he's coming in basically saying, sorry, wait a minute, I went too far. Because it's funny, because he's basically at this point he's coming in with basically saying, he's like, I don't understand this whole year, this whole rundown. You're missing the main character in John Cena's story.
I wasn't even mentioned. Yeah.
And then also basically saying, he's like, because he's like, hey, and he basically calls it out. I beat him in this gear and all this stuff. And like, I was sitting back thinking, this might be what they're kind of going through, but kind of going for. I mean, basically, he's almost kind of looked to me like the guy who was talking about his high school football days and like won't shut up about it, because that's where he peaks, and that was it.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Don't talk about Al Bundy like that. What are you talking about, man? Come on, man.
Hey, Al Bundy scored 4 touchdowns at Polk High School for the state championship. Damn it!
That's right.
Put some respect on that man's name. 1 second here.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, so he comes in.
Yeah,
and then
it's hilarious.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you have did you have the pic? So then Ron, the Truth Killings comes running down. His music hit, the crowd popped. There was no piped in soundtrack for that.
No,
The crowd popped.
everybody blew
as
up.
soon as he showed up, everybody was losing their mind.
He's coming in his John Cena's biggest fan garb and everything else. And also earlier in the night, before the whole event started, he was out there with the crowd, outside with the crowd, doing a custom version of his "What's Up" thing.
Yeah.
And it was great because it was just basically just pulling in, and everyone was stoked. You could see everyone was just blowing up, having a great time, and everyone loves Ron. I mean, he's 100 years old. I mean,
yes, which is always what makes it so funny when he's talking about he grew up watching John Cena. He grew up, mind you, he's about 5 years older, 4 or 5 years older than Cena.
Exactly.
Yeah. I grew up watching you. You're my childhood hero. And I was like, feels like that is incorrect. But yes, so he was there.
There was a time where little Jimmy was some of the best stuff on television.
For sure.
I mean,
again, little Jimmy was the most popular character that didn't exist.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So what's also funny, because basically he comes in and like without it, and give credit to both of them for not breaking character, because Ron Killing's basically coming in and basically saying, I saw what you did. I saw during the tournament. I saw how you fondled Nick Aldis's balls.
His balls. Yeah.
He was talking about the balls that were just like they were doing like almost like a lottery kind of thing.
He did something inappropriate
with Nick Aldis's balls. That was the word I was looking for. And just the way he is, boom, 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 boom. This is why Ron and they are paid more than what they're paid, and I'm paid what I'm paid.
Yeah.
But the way he delivered was perfect. And he had basically, because if people don't remember or don't know, they had kind of this lottery system where they had people's names in these plastic balls, and Nick Aldis would run the thing and then would pick a name, pick a ball up, pick the name, and that would be how they would figure out the tournament for one of John Cena's matches, right? And so then, this is, and it's great. I wish I'd have gotten a picture of, because this is Ron holding up the ball, right? And then I wish I'd have gotten a picture of, because the pay-per-view got a really good picture of it,
because you could see it.
Yeah, they made it translucent enough to where you could see Miz like pulling the piece of paper, and you could see in reverse the one and only Joe Hendry coming in, and he's doing his whole thing.
Man, he appears.
Yep, pretty much. I'm waiting for him to show up at my front door right now. Joe Hendry pops in, and it's just the because even before they even show it on the camera for the pay-per-view, the light and the crowd live, the screens pop up, the music starts piping through, and he's right there, and Miz is playing it off perfect.
Absolutely.
Like, what? Huh?
Absolutely. Yes.
Huh? What? What's going on? Actually, wait, I think I even got the right thing here. Yeah, it's kind of the...
Yeah, you can see he does it perfectly.
And so anyway, Hendry comes in and they do the whole thing, and then they put Miz down on the floor, and then they even stop to do the little side by side. Well, so Hendry does his thing first, like normal, but then Ron, because he can't stay out of nothing,
because it's Ron,
right, and hugs him in and does the Joe Hendry shot on the camera, and then and so then they basically got Miz laid out, and then they both do the 5-knuckle shuffle right on the Miz, basically giving tribute to John, which was awesome. And then Joe, quote unquote, pins him while Ron does the count 1, 2, 3.
Pins him in a clearly non-sanctioned match.
And I think this was like one of the last pictures we got, because again, the other thing is, I mean, especially with the live events, try and get pictures. Oh, there you go. See, you never know. You never know. Before you know it, now
say his name.
Hey, Joe Hendry. Hey, how you doing, buddy? How's it going? Welcome to Getting Work, buddy. Good to have you. That was awesome. Because at the end of this also, then they do, because he's got the intro song, and then he's got the other one where he starts doing the swaying at the end. And we didn't really get any good pictures of that, because we were
waving our hands.
We were just waving our hands, watching the thing. So we didn't get any pictures of that. But again, it was freaking awesome.
Again, really well laid out, though. Again, it was the match within a match, that it was interesting. It was fun. It was.
Oh, it was all goofy. It was all goofball.
It was goofy.
It
was super goofy, and I loved it. Was it the Simon Miller one where he's like, "I love goofy wrestling for life." Yeah, heck yeah, goofy wrestling for life. That is outstanding.
Yeah. So
I think that was it, right? There were no other matches after that, I don't believe. So
I saw this big German guy kind of walking around and throwing himself around the ring.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I don't know. I don't know if like his handler needs to come out and get him, because I didn't see anybody else in the ring with him, right? So we've got
when his music hit, when Gunter's music hit, everybody knew the assignment. That's the way I could say it. If you watch, I'll jump to Monday night just briefly. If you watch Monday night's entrance where Gunter comes out, everyone knows the assignment.
Yep.
I will say Gunter plays this perfectly. So I have some other stuff to say that I'll get to that in a little while. But
sure.
Yeah.
So
Gunter comes out.
Gunter comes out first.
Lets you know, if you were anywhere in the DC area, you would have known Gunter came out. There was no piped in sound needed for this portion.
No,
he was.
The crowd picked their words organically here.
Yes,
there was no like at all kind of.
You tapped out was everyone's favorite chant. F you Gunter was also a quite popular chant. They finished out the whole word. I won't this particular section, but they were ready. We were ready, not that we were ready, and everybody knew the assignment, and they did it well. So shout out to you. And also, if anybody's watching that was also at the let us
Saturday
know. Night main event, please pop in the comments. Let us know. I was gonna say, let us know what your take. Where were you at? Where were you at the moment that John Cena was fighting Gunter? Where were you, and how do you feel about what happened at the end? We'll get to that, but we all know, but let us know in the comments. So
absolutely,
and chat, etc.
So Gunter comes in, and then of course Cena comes in. He's doing his whole thing, and then
they just showed the entrance for some reason. There was no one there though.
I know, they got the camera guy waiting, pointing at nobody.
I guess Stu. Who knows? He knows Stu. He's always doing that. Stu's a weird dude.
And then the camera kind of just started floating around, just mysteriously.
Yeah. I mean, Stu wasn't even. It was, robots these days. AI.
It was on cables like the other camera. But now, I think Stu's apparently one of the camera, like he's that guy right at that entrance, and I think I'm sure that you have different people kind of swapping in and out, but my understanding is that Stu has been, for the most part, everyone's eyes for everyone's entrances, those close-up views of those entrances, and then them in the behind shot of them walking down for years
before
of
I was
us
gonna say it was
watching
before Cena
Raw
even
and
really got going.
SmackDown and everything else. Stu's been the guy who's been covering that kind of key spot there to help, capture, all of that. Any kind of key action going on here, right at this main kind of entrance area, either before or after matches, jump-ins, ambushes, whatever. Stu's been the guy capturing that for everyone as they're watching television. And so John grabs the camera, and unfortunately the production truck kind of missed the mark because they didn't actually show Stu until at the very, very end of it.
They cut him out. They did it all wrong, but
yeah, because I don't think. Well, I guess they probably had no idea John was going to do that. But John's called out Stu, the camera guy, more than anybody on the planet.
Let's go to work.
Yep. All of that is Stu's. Like, Stu's been our eyeballs, right, for all of that stuff. So that was a great moment to catch live. So as the match itself, I think all in all it was a good, just hard-nosed
storytelling.
Yeah,
it was good storytelling.
Hard-nosed action.
Mm-hmm.
Gunther
no
really
double her and Karadas off the
no
or anything, but you wouldn't expect that either. But the way Gunther, he played the heel, the dastardly heel, perfect. Like at one point he goes, I think there's a video, I can't remember if I uploaded that one yet or not, where he climbs up on the stair. He pulls the stairs off to the side.
I've got a shot of that. I've got a shot
and he's like, and he's doing all the thing. He's like, yeah, you can't see me, where he's standing there, he's doing all the things. Like, forget this dude. He did it well.
The back and forth, and I think, but at the same time, like, Gunther was relentless. Like, just time and time again, Cena would break away from him, get some moves off, and then before you know it, Gunther would be right back.
There was
pound him in the face.
Gunther wasn't trying to. Gunther fought this truly, almost like you would really fight it. Like you would really fight.
Yeah.
There was no show. Like, if you're in a real fight,
this was the closest thing to any kind of real crowd, like, quote unquote showmanship here.
If you get
on
the
steel steps,
that's
there.
it. That was it.
Yeah.
And every single thing after that was just, I'm gonna end you. I'm gonna break you. I'm gonna end this.
And where Gunther, where there was a little, but it was more on the storytelling side than showmanship side. But basically, about kind of even before halfway through the match, Gunther, every time John was on his back, Gunther was telling the ref, like, he's done. He's done.
Yeah. He's saying he's done.
Ask him. He's done.
Yeah.
And so, like, even like there'd be like a hard clothesline, John be laying on his back, and Gunther would just be walking around saying, hey, he's out. He's done.
That's it.
And it just kind of went like that. And there was some back and forth. Obviously, so Gunther kind of set up.
It was the rally.
Yeah, because Gunther set up the steps here and was getting ready to try and get John on something, but John reverses it and effectively gets the attitude adjustment onto the table. Because, you got to have that.
End up having.
What now?
Cena must have given him at least 4 or 5 attitude adjustment.
Oh yeah,
at least 4 or 5 throughout the match. I mean, not in this one spot,
but not even from the top rope.
The match.
I'm sorry, not it was like the middle rope or whatever. But one from this was insane. And then, this is him getting ready to do one of his 5-knuckle shuffles. Now, he got, I know, at least one of them off, but I think in this one in particular, Gunther actually got up as John was running, looking away from him. Gunther got up.
Clothesline?
Yeah,
he got him on a clothesline.
Gunther also, he hit him with at least multiple power bombs, multiple really hard clotheslines, several times in like some kind of like sleeper hold with the scissors and various different things. And then John also got him in some STFUs here and there. It was just back and forth. And then every time John would get a little bit, I think the storytelling here was that, and then because basically John was getting to the point that no matter what he did, Gunther was right back up and was right in his face and putting in the sleeper on him. And
well, the perfect example of that is Gunther has him in the sleeper, and Cena is being asked. It was, he's holding his arm up, the usual trope, right?
Yep.
Holds his arm up, referee drops it 1. He does it again, he drops it 2. He does it again, and just before it drops, Cena throws up the hustlability respect.
Yep.
Or OK symbol, depending on who you are. And everybody pops for that. And the moment, usually that's where the baby face pops up, and he at least gets a little rally. He never got off the mat.
Yeah.
He does that. He shakes his hand, and Gunther just elbow to his head. Again, like you would really do it in a real fight. That is what you would do. Like, first off, the guy probably is not throwing up the OK symbol, but in that moment, you're gonna sit there and and he just wails on him. And I didn't like it at the time, but I kind of like it now.
Yeah.
I like it. Cena has the smirk. What looks like a smirk.
And this is where, again, kind of from our viewpoint, where we got the camera, and this is where, again, like live from our angle, kind of the hard cam angle, Cena was facing to the left here when
he's facing us when he does the little. It looks like a smirk. It's like it's not a smirk.
He was facing. He was facing the entrance. He was facing the entrance. Because I was looking for the shot and I missed it on the hard cam. I'm sorry, on the big screen. So I was more watching it because it was kind of you weren't entirely expecting it when it happened, So they were actually facing out to the entrance side when he actually did the smirk and the tap.
Okay. And honestly, I keep saying smirk, and I don't think that
it's not. But really, it was a smile. It was just kind of.
It was not resignation. That where you're resigning.
Oh no, he was resigning. He was resigning to the fact that he was just there was nothing else he could give. He was done. And it was more of that. I think that it was kind of just that I'm ready to. I'm ready to let go now.
I'm done.
I'm done. And basically kind of helping to tell that story. And so this is, Gunther does his, little walk, but he wasn't out there very long. I think he understood what he needed to do. And then
if you want to know if the guy, again, take the fan side off for a second. If you want to know whether Gunther actually respects John or if he was going into business, because this is a moment for him, right?
Yeah.
It's a big moment for him. If he was going into business for himself a little bit, not in a wrestling I'm gonna hurt you kind of way, but in a I'm gonna take all the limelight
this moment. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He was out. The winner is usually the one that hangs out in the ring. That's usually the one that, and he's there, and Sean back in the day told somebody to get out of his effing ring.
Yep.
And he should have, because that guy sucked. But Gunther was gone. Gunther did his little celebration, and Gunther was out. He was down that ring. He was out the ring and gone back through the entranceway quickly. And it was all about John from that moment on. John and some other guy that came out. There were chants of thank you, Cena, but that was long after. WWE does a really good job of changing what actually happened to what they want it to happen.
Right.
And I saw the video of it later where they're, like, oh, thank you, John. Thank you, John. Those chants that were going on when John was doing this in the ring, that was not what was going on in the ring at that point. When he's sitting there, and then as the next couple of images you'll probably get to, I'm assuming that's the next ones.
Yeah, this is moving into the thank you, Cena kind of celebration.
Yeah. That's where they were moving to, but that was not what the crowd was.
Well, the unfortunate part, so here's, John's, getting up, and also one thing too, while he was kind of on his knees there in the ring, you see, you kind of heard sort of the crowd kind of having some mixed reaction to everything. I think there were a lot of people really disappointed with the finish, and John, you could see John's
right now.
John was basically like, while he was on his knees, basically looked out and basically says, he's like, I gave it all I had. Basically saying is like to the point, like there was nothing else for him to give there. There was really there's really no, especially at that point, there's no point.
I think he says that later on.
No, he's as he's, so I had the earlier shot, he was on his knees.
Mm-hmm.
He was on his knees, and it's before we have it's before he did the kiss to the mat.
Mm-hmm.
He looks over to what was our right, his left, and he basically you could see he's saying like, I gave it all I had. I did everything I could. It was right there in that moment because he was still on his knees when he was doing it. And then he does this whole kiss to the ring, and then he gets up and he's kind of doing his bow. Now, to your point, I think Tripp should have come out last.
When this dude came down, Trips is too much ego for that dude.
But I'm just saying, in terms of if he didn't want the crowd,
I'm not positive he should have been out there.
If he didn't want he had to be out there, but I think if you didn't want the crowd quickly going to the booze, because everybody, so you have people already kind of having their issues with Trips right now, but then also everybody who didn't like the way the finish went, just like, this is all on you.
They let him know.
Yep.
And that moment,
it went.
You.
To be honest, I would have started with these two guys right behind him, CM Punk and Cody Rhodes.
Well, there's Shawn and Taker. Shawn and Taker are right with him.
Fair enough, but I'm going to tell you right now. And I know Shawn may not be able to like mentally comprehend this. Nobody gave two shits about Shawn Michaels in this moment.
No.
Nobody cared. And to be honest, nobody cared about Undertaker. So, but having Triple H and Stephanie being the first people to come out was the wrong move.
No.
Because things kind of got really mixed really quick.
Fast.
And it just, I think they should have waited and then come in, and then maybe let some of the rest of the locker room folks kind of come through, but they should not have been the first people out the door.
Yeah.
I was
gonna say, I don't want to we can do that with our airing of the grievances. I was gonna say maybe that'll be one of our airing of the grievances. Maybe
talk about our Festivus celebration.
Yes.
On December 23rd, as is the celebration time. Whenever you're gonna, We could maybe do a delayed one, but we're shooting to actually do it on 23rd of December.
Yeah, that's the goal.
If for anyone who
so bring
doesn't
yours
know,
as well. I was gonna say bring yours as well.
Maybe if you're too young, this is something that was born out of the Seinfeld show, and it was a made up holiday, basically the eve of Christmas, where basically the idea is to get out a lot of the stuff that bugged the hell out of you over the course of the year. There's feats of strength, there's the airing of grievances, there's a metal pole, there's there's all kinds of things.
It's a whole thing.
Apparently Costanza's dad was very nice. Costanza's dad was trying to start a whole brand new religion based on in celebration based on what he was calling Festivus. So on the 23rd of December, we will be celebrating Festivus, upon which there will be many airing of grievances, including a interesting discussion around Triple H. So, all right. So let's get to the good stuff. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes are the first in the ring with John. Got the two top champions in WWE coming out. They've got their belts. They're both just basically just standing there with him and just total adoration and respect and everything else. And it was really, really cool. And you could see where they each put their respective belts on John's shoulders, basically just helping to kind of help recognizing him as the GOAT, and then just kind of helping him move forward. And they then move back to a corner and let him have his moment. They eventually ducked down and just let him just have his time with, belts that he's won in the past. And the opportunities to hold them up and just, so also, you see, Punk and Cody just kind of hanging out in the back, but then you also, this is where you see just how full ringside really got.
Everybody from the back is there. I mean, you talk about Triple H and them coming out early, but everybody, I mean, the MFTs were there, you name them, they were just about there.
Everybody that was there.
Austin. I saw one of the comments was like, I wish I saw Austin. I was like, yeah, I don't think Austin's leaving Texas. I don't think I was leaving Texas for this. He was like,
it'd be hard pressed to drag him away right now. But I think, everyone that was there was out there, heel, babyface, it didn't matter.
Natalia was there. Like
you start to see what was it? Little Nate, the referee guy, he's the blue shirt right here. He was out there. Just a bunch of folks are out there, just kind of just giving their respects. Braun Breaker was right here in this kind of maroonish jacket. Got some other shots here. So you get, you see John, see RVD right here. You see Kevin Owens right here.
Who was the Beer Money? What's his name? He was there too. I saw him in one of the shots. Why am I blanking on his name? I know him as Beer Money. The one from Beer Money.
Storm.
I keep saying Rick Rude, but that's not.
It's right. Oh, I know who you're talking about. God damn it.
Glorious.
I know. Anyhow. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
So anyhow, it was that type of a night. Everybody was there. In fact, that might be the shot that you see. I can't remember. And of course, people moved around.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Everyone's kind of shifting around as they're kind of walking around, getting different shots of getting their own view.
Oh, Robinson. That's the referee. That's the ref.
Yep.
I can remember random stuff. This make no sense.
So
why do I remember some referee's name?
This is probably the one shot that, because of Trips again. Also, Trips, it's so funny because
he is becoming Vince every day that he's there, man.
Well,
he's just
part of it,
and not the good stuff always. Just saying.
And this is where we can again kind of maybe we'll get a little more into it during Festivus. But I also think
in fact
that
we should probably leave it for Festivus.
My point, just more to kind of get it kind of nailed down, is I'm also curious how much TKO's influence has on everything. Because whatever we think it is, it's way deeper. Everyone's claws, everyone in TKO, their claws are far deeper than is clear here. They're letting WWE, they're letting Triple H, they're letting everything going on here kind of happen at its face, but you let someone who basically runs an MMA organization and you think wrestling's dirty.
Yeah.
So, but Trips is, for good, bad, or indifferent, definitely in a position where he's having to be, let me get these. Okay. So anyway, when he's standing here on the side of the ring and gets his hug, there was a lot of mixed reactions there, for sure.
Actually, I don't know that it was mixed.
I heard more because it was just, I think there was a lot of people that were just cheering because they were cheering for John regardless of what was going on. Like, there are people that were just cheering. They didn't care. But there was a lot of people that were booing for
knew
Trips.
who he was hugging. If you weren't watching, you knew who he was hugging.
So
like, there was, That's
again,
Elias.
we got Elias. We've got and I don't know what name he's going by now. So Sean Spears is the last name's Tyler something in when he was
Perfect
with
10.
WWE. Perfect 10. So he hasn't been on TV. I don't know if he's maybe moving into more of a production role. No, he came back to WWE, but I think he's kind of going on a more of a back end kind of production, kind of role. But yeah, and I didn't realize Elias was back.
No, I didn't either. I thought he was still gone. I thought he was gone too.
I don't know. Maybe he's one of Cena's good friends, and he's just kind of showing up. But he's definitely dressed up in the garb too. Like, he's not trying to pretend to be anybody else.
He's clearly,
everyone else is just kind of just hanging back doing their thing. He wants you to know he's Elias, and he was there.
To be fair, that's, I think, just how he dresses.
That might be. Actually get a shot of RVD, and he did a little thing when he walked back for the crowd, kind of before he got went into the back. He did a little RVD thing with the crowd, which is kind of cool. Oba's hanging out, already changed out after his match. And then we got the MFTs kind of hanging back again. It's kind of cool. You kind of see a mix here, and then is that?
I thought that was Jimmy.
I thought that was.
Yeah.
But
I still think it's Jimmy. In fact, that picture makes it even more so. I think
even closer because the other Tongalo or whatever his name doesn't have.
They don't have this.
The blonde also doesn't have the blonde in the back like that.
No, I think it's Jimmy.
I think that is Jimmy. AJ.
There's AJ.
Everyone's just kind of coming together here, and just and then you see he does his final bow. The other thing too, which we didn't really, because it was before the Triple H hug, they did this whole big video package for Cena, basically saying, hey, here's boom boom boom, here's basically the history, just kind of showing everything. That's the guy. You know what? Now you're right. I thought this guy was Braun. This is the Rude guy. What is his damn name?
Yeah, I always want to call him Rick Rude, but that's the wrong one.
No, it's
Bobby
Rude.
Robert Rude. Yes. I was like,
is he a producer now? Where has this guy been?
He's clearly like a backstage person now.
If he's maybe he was just there to visit. I mean, I don't know how many of this is like, because you don't know how many. Like, not everyone necessarily has to be active.
I will say this: he's much older than we think he is.
Oh, well, no, well, I remember him early on in TNA.
Yeah.
I think he's, kind of around like AJ's kind of general age, maybe a little bit younger, but not much. Because when I first saw him, it didn't, like, I wouldn't have placed him there. Oh, okay. And there's Natty. She's hanging back over here. That's Eva Mendez. She was the one that was sitting with Trish. In the corner right there. I still don't know who that blonde woman was. I never got a good shot of her. I never got a good look at her face.
There's a picture, and I was like, "Oh, that's who that was." And then I
never got a good look at her face.
I forgot it completely that fast.
So yeah. So Cena does his bows, and then he starts to take off everything. It's off again. It's the long time tradition. You leave with your boots in the ring.
But that's where Jarrett ran in and grabbed them, and that's why he's wearing those now. So,
these are the ones
he dyed them. He just changed the color.
Yeah, they changed. Changed the colors.
Them and,
that was we were talking about.
Those are the ones that he has. So,
they had these. They're selling these, but they were the color swap of what John actually wore to his final match, which is a little.
That's what it is. Yeah, annoying.
A little, and so again, it's back to the kind of the thank you, John. So really, as far as kind of just the overall thoughts around the evening, I think all in all, I think it was a good show, especially as far as a live event goes.
Yeah,
it was incredible.
No. It hit all the marks.
Yeah,
again, it's a moment in time. It's gonna be, hey, you remember when Cena retired? Oh, do you remember the Cena? Like, we're gonna remember that. This is one of those, and that's what I take away. It's moment in time for my buddy. Me and you.
Well, that was the other thing too. It's just really
us. We're there. It's everyone. I mean, Cena and we're all the same age. So everybody, us and Cena are the same age. Just to give you an idea, ballpark. We all grew up together. That's, and I will say, I actually got to thinking about this. Would I ever say that John Cena is my favorite wrestler of all time? No, I wouldn't. Not me personally. And that's not a knock on him.
No,
it's more to do. I have a question. Honestly, this is a question for the community. I had been kind of kicking around a little bit. If you had something, please jump in. But
no, I was basically going to mirror what you're saying here, and I think it was because since John is our age, like we grew up with more wrestlers. At least I remember. I also got to remember for the folks watching.
We got old with John Cena. That's the way
we got old with John Cena, but also I also watched a lot more wrestling growing up than Ian did.
Right.
So I've got.
And that's what I'm gonna get
a little bit more history.
So
but
I was gonna say that's kind of what I'm getting toward. Because for me to say, oh well, John Cena would never be one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, it sounds like a knock. And it's not. No, and it's not even slightly a knock. What I want to know, and we won't talk about it tonight. It's going to be a question for the community. We'll talk about it. Maybe we'll talk about it in narrative grievances or some future. Once you have a favorite wrestler, and about 4, 5, 10 years or so pass, can that guy ever not be your favorite wrestler again? Does he ever get replaced? Is there a way to ever replace that person? So for me, it's Sting, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker. No one will ever replace the three of them. That's just they're locked in. I can like Roman Reigns, I can like John Cena, but I want to know. That's just a thought. We'll have a discussion, because it's one of those things I always kind of wonder. I got to talking about it, and some of the ones that are younger than me, but then they grew up with Cena.
That's about what
as
their
guy.
I was going to say.
When they're 10, 12, 13, 14, like that was their guy. Could he ever be replaced? Could Roman Reigns ever replace? So that's probably the closest person I could think of right now. Could Roman Reigns ever replace John Cena for you? If
For
Cena was your
them,
guy, your dude, could John Cena, could Cody Rhodes, because Cody's like carbon copy, right? Could Cody Rhodes ever replace him?
he's not a
Could the
carbon
Ruler
copy. I think
ever
that
replace him? I mean, as far as like style and where he was supposed to be.
I think that I think there is a lot of a generational thing, because I think when you think about, while we were there, I think that you had a lot, because there were a decent number of younger, like really like kids, like
Oh, sure.
8 or whatever. And
Yeah, that kid that
so
was sitting like just a row or two in front of us off to the right. Yeah.
you've got a lot of people who grew up watching Cena when they were 8 or 9
That
at
are now
that
having
show with
kids
their kids.
with their 8 or 9-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
And because
so
he stretches over so many years. So that is an advantage for Cena in a way. The only guy that I really can think of just off the top of my head that would be similar to that would be like a Flair. Flair was, I mean, he was every grandmother I knew's favorite wrestler when I was a kid.
Looked like he was 38 when he was 20. So it was like,
he was that dude for the whole time.
So I think, to your point, I think that, even like for like me, who doesn't necessarily have quite the same kind of fandom effect, I think that I definitely think about Cena differently, but I remember those early 2000s in my 20s watching that transition between, because you also got to remember the timing of things. This is that Attitude Era into Ruthless Aggression. This is WWE post purchasing WCW. This is just
several years after.
But like talking about like establishing what WWE is going to be after a lot of that kind of started to not fizzle, but settled in and faded out a little,
Yeah.
And so now
it was at such a high.
Now you've got Cena coming in, because Angle was integral and kind of part of that transition. But then when Cena first popped up into that ring with that, ruthless aggression, I'll call it a promo, but it was just a real quick shot in the pan kind of thing. Angle was the veteran.
Yeah, you would never remember him saying ruthless aggression.
He was bald
if it
Kurt.
Had gone a different way.
It wasn't like Kurt with hair. This was bald Kurt.
Yeah.
Cena coming out with the whole, and that's why I was glad that Kurt was there, because it was, kind of a full circle thing with, that was John's first real show to the world who he was. And that was before Thugonomics. That was the prototype,
Yeah, it was prototype.
So, I think that John really came in at a kind of core time where then you kind of got an opportunity, and then you have you have that roster coming out of OVW, your Batista, your Randy Orton, your Brock Lesnar's, all of that starting to come in, and it really kind of helped say, okay, yeah, all right, nobody cares about WCW anymore in the sense of our product. We've effectively killed it. What do we do now? And he was a big piece.
But they had also killed the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era had faded because Shawn was gone. Just Rock was still there. Triple H was still there, but they were fading. Rock was only there for a few more years full time. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know that. Yeah, Rock was there, but only for a little bit. But full time, I'm talking about. No. Yeah, he would come in for where he was going part time by that time, because that, of course, was one of the big things, one of the big promos of John Cena, where he's like, "You left, you left," and so.
But also, you saw the one. I remember I was actually kind of watching some of the older stuff, and they had one, and you could see he was still a very young. This was kind of some of the earlier years of John Cena in his current his current look, his current iteration. It was post Thugonomics. It was kind of the jorts and the all that, the wristbands, basically how he looked when he came out on Saturday.
Yeah.
But you got Big Show on the mat on his back, and you can't even tell this till like way a bit. But Rock's in there and he's talking to him. He's got Cena's bicep band in his hand. John's standing in the ring, like at the corner there. He must have beat Big Show and everything because he's sweating. He just had a match, and Rock's basically coming in and say, the problem is you're way too big. He's talking about he's like, yeah, you're like, and he's got the band here. He's around your arm, like, tell me, like, this is a headband, right?
This is a headband, isn't it? And he's like.
He's like, yeah. And again, he's like, he puts it on there and he does the whole, he puts it on his arm, but then he's like holding it out like this, and then he basically takes it and he takes it off and throws it out and does the people's elbow on Big Show. But it was just kind of funny seeing that exchange, because that was kind of in a way a bit of a passing of the torch there from Rock, because he was really it's rare to see Rock. He was like making fun of Cena, but propping him up at the same time.
Yeah, at the same time. Absolutely.
He was making fun of how big he was. Okay, that's
Cena,
not really a jab, make fun of how swole I am.
You're in a lot of good. You're in really great shape.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, it's interesting seeing some of that kind of just that history there. And also when you watch the vignettes and everything, I mean, you saw pictures of him with Eddie. You saw pictures of him early on with Rey Mysterio. He's wrestled
Rey Mysterio where he doesn't look like he's 80.
Just about everybody, or wrestled with just about everybody. In terms of
our match,
I mean, from Attitude Era on.
He's fans fighting. He fought Shawn. Of course, Orton is his biggest contemporary. That would be his probably biggest rival, right?
Sure.
Rock, Trips.
Drank beers with Stone Cold.
Yes, drank beers with Stone Cold.
I mean,
is there ever a moment that him and Hogan are in the ring at the same time?
Because they saw him do. They were together doing that thing.
The pose, right? Yeah. So I thought Cena stretches living. Anyone live? I mean, Hogan has passed away, but in our lifetime, I guess I should say.
Oh yeah,
everyone that we've just about ever been that super mega star.
Yeah.
Cena has
I would
been
say
in the ring,
the only person I can think of off the top, just because of the timing of it when he came in, and thinking back on it, it would have been great to see. But the one person that I'm not aware of him actually having any kind of real involvement with was Sting. Because he even had some kind of involvement with even HBK to a point.
No, that's because HBK came back, but that's more Vince McMahon, perfectly honest. So screw that guy.
Oh no. I mean, but in terms of because you think about even crosses with people that and I mean, Sting's time in WWE was a flash in the pan, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
you had that was more about. See, we won. Remember 30 years ago when we won?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think that. I think that. Also, I mean, sorry, but 5 different thoughts came into my head at once.
This is where we start having to wrap up, because otherwise,
the only other thing I was going to say about it was that I think there's also a lot to be said about John from like the ambassador side of things too. I mean, the man learned like Cantonese, or was it Cantonese? It was, or Mandarin. It was one of the two. I can't remember which one. He learned a whole different language,
Mandarin.
just so that Mandarin, so he could be an ambassador for the WWE, you know, overseas. And then also like, I mean, like is. I never really got anything out of like his movies, but his time with Peacemaker doing that show has just been incredible. I mean,
that was easy. I didn't know who Peacemaker was. I had no clue.
Oh, nobody knew. Like Peacemaker's a throwaway comic. Like that's the whole point.
To play Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Like, you go, yeah. That's actually probably Cena. That probably is him. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not. Him not in the interviews, him not being, because it's kind of this weird, like you had this like who he was when he had the gear on versus who he was when he had the suit on,
right?
And then you've got him who's probably somewhere in the middle
between that. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I think this is probably a good time to kind of,
this is a good spot,
transition into like what we're kind of be like shooting to do here. Probably again, next week on the 23rd, we're going to do the Festivus celebration, but I think part of that is also going to be, because of the timing, kind of a discussion around John Cena's last run here in the WWE.
Last year.
This, the good, bad, and the ugly of it, because
airing
I think
of
that
the grievances.
There's going to be some airing of the grievances around it, and I have mixed opinions about the run itself. Some of the stuff that I'm not entirely happy with, in context and understanding why certain things happened. Okay, fine. Other parts of it, I don't know. There's a lot there that definitely could have been done better. All said and done.
We'll look forward to
talk about that.
Let us know what you think as well. Like if there's anything that you need to air some grievances, or things that you're like, no, I think this was great and all was sunshine and rainbows. Let us know that too. Let's have the discussion.
Well, one thing real quick too, just because in terms of the aftermath, we didn't talk about Raw. Not that there's that much to say other than just the fact that we talked about how Gunter got the heck out of there. Yeah. Real quick. He took his time on Raw. Not rushed.
He took his time on Raw.
But back to Saturday, it wasn't like he ran out there, but he didn't take his sweet time either. It was just boom, boom, boom.
He was clearly out. He knew the assignment.
But to your point, and again, it made sense because he didn't need to be there for the celebration.
No.
I'm sure they hugged after everything through.
Yeah. But he didn't come out, which he should not have.
Nope. Gotta respect the kayfabe there.
Absolutely.
And I give that props. But I'm sure they had their, and I don't know, maybe they don't like each other, but I'm sure at least they had a handshake, if not a hug, after the whole thing went down. I think
if Cena didn't like him, he wouldn't have been the last guy that he fought either. So
that's how much. But John was talking about how this is another thing we could talk about on the 23rd about how much John had in terms of control of but either way, on Monday it opened up with Gunter, and I don't know how many encores somebody can pull off in a single segment, but it was like the first.
There was no one telling him about time at the back. Let me just tell you, he had.
But he teased it because like it seemed like he'd be like a first thing, very quick, just boom, boom, basically like saying I told you what I was going to do and I did it basically. Yeah. And then he would kind of roll out and then like it looked like, oh, okay, damn, that was short and sweet.
Okay. Yeah.
Right back out. Man was standing on the announce table, and man was coming out back in, and then he'd go to leave, and then he'd come back out again.
Let's go.
Just breathing it in, just building up the heat.
And again, it's a good and bad thing what I'm about to say. The crowd knew the assignment.
Oh yeah,
you could tell the crowd knew the assignment. I've used that phrase over and over because it fits so well.
Oh yeah,
wrestling fans. If this was the 80s, that's a very different crowd. 90s, it's a very different crowd. Now people are so dialed in, so in tune. Oh, boo that guy. Do we really hate him? No, we actually kind of like him. It's kind of cool that he's, but we're supposed to boo you. So boo you.
Well, and I think that
in a good way. Like
exactly. Like
everyone was in on it.
He doesn't have Xbox heat.
That's
right? He doesn't have go
That's
away
exactly what I was
heat.
getting. Yes.
He's got the appropriate amount of heat that he is. His character, he's getting the exact reaction that his character is designed to garner. Exactly. But
and everyone knows it.
But also everyone that understands the business and they really understand that it's like watching like Daniel Day-Lewis and Gangs of New York or what's that other great movie he's in with the oil and everything? I'm losing the name of it. It's you hate the character, you despise the character, but then you're applauding when that actor gets an Oscar.
Yeah.
For the performance.
That was really good.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean?
That's exactly what that was.
And he's doing it. Gunter is right in that spot, and he's exactly where he's supposed to be. But in terms of establishing storyline moving forward, he finally leaves. And he's going through the back, and you see kind of typical things. You got a couple of folks in the back, and everyone's just kind of shaking their head at him, and he don't give two shits. And he's walking out, and he's not even hanging around. He's not paid by the hour. He's walking outside, basically to his car, and who's standing there but AJ Styles.
Yeah.
And we touched on this earlier, but obviously I think the talk right now is that AJ, as far as quote unquote big stars, not from the WWE perspective, AJ doesn't have the same impact that John has.
Of course.
Few do, especially on the active roster.
But it's time period.
But also
in the wrestling period.
But people that understand his work in TNA and just people that
New Japan.
Really New Japan. Yeah, I mean people really love AJ, and the talk is that he's gonna be especially as far as a planned retirement goes, the next in line.
True last match, but it's his retirement where he's a full-time roster member.
Yeah,
it's coming up. Yeah.
And but it also kind of seems to solidify it a little bit where they have that interaction. They don't do anything, but AJ's out there sitting on the hood of Gunter's car, and just as he comes out, just gets up, looks at him, and then basically just kind of lets him go. But it's just kind of that. So you can tell, and especially if they're trying to work Gunter as that legend killer, then okay.
Who's next? He's collecting all the rings.
It's like Pokemon.
All the Infinity Stones.
Ian's running on this Thanos motif.
Yeah, he's going Thanos.
I'm not mad at it. I think it makes sense. But he's he's definitely being established as kind of that guy. And I think also because they've also established him as legitimate. really outside of the potential thing outside that ended up getting reversed on him with the steps and the announce table.
Mhm.
Gunther didn't cheat. He won clean.
No, yeah, that was,
And it
there
wasn't even
wasn't
just the
any,
finish was clean. He like the whole
which it
match
sort of needed
in the
to
ring was
be.
clean.
You
Yeah.
kind of, yeah. I'm all for the swerve. Like if you watch anything with us, I will come up with a swerve in a half of a second. This wasn't one of the times. Like you
No,
don't end
no.
someone's career that much of a legend's career
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
some fluky, somebody, one of Gunther's people from what was the group that he was in? Always forget. Imperium.
Yeah. With like Ilya Dragonovich.
Right. Yeah. So none of that silliness. It
And the
was none
one
of
guy
that.
who's pretending to be Starbucks, the Americano
Oh,
Grande
right.
or Grande Amer whatever. I was just calling him
Grande
Starbucks.
Americano.
Grande
What are you
Americano.
talking about? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a Starbucks order. It's
Yeah.
It's so yeah, I'm glad that
Overall,
they're
I was gonna say,
establishing him
Yeah.
as a solid. It's like, yeah, he's like, okay, yeah, he's an asshole, but he's winning clean, and if he's winning
Yeah.
clean,
If
what are you
you're
gonna
good,
do?
you're
What are you
good.
gonna say?
You can't argue with somebody if they're winning clean and they're just winning.
Yeah.
He's not dirtiest player in the game type of stuff.
No,
But
he doesn't have to be. Not that
No.
he's totally above it,
Well,
but he doesnn't have to be, which I think is
yeah,
also nice.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, like he's also.
I think he'll if he's going to get to a point where someone's going to start showing him up, and I'm sure you're going to see him, especially to help again to really kind of start establishing him. If they really want to establish him as heel, or if they want to eventually shift him over. But Gunther also doesn't really have a face like vibe.
That
he
persona. No. He can be at best anti-hero.
Yeah.
At best anti-hero. That's sort of where I can see him being. That anti-hero. I come in, I'm doing what I'm doing because that's what I do, not because it's right or
wrong. But also, again, it puts him in a good position there, because if you have someone who's effectively kind of one of the top heels, if not the top heel right now, but they're winning clean, then it just opens up all the doors. Like you can go different ways outside of like just pure babyface. You can do whatever you want to with him. That's really the only door that I see is closed, but that's fine. It's especially now. I mean, Stone Cold really helped to establish that you don't have to have a true face. I mean, heck, Hogan always wrestled a heel match. Flair always kind of wrestled a heel match. Hell, Eddie was lying, cheating, and stealing his way through so many different matches, and the crowd loved him for it. So, but he's not going to have that same. He's not going to have Eddie's pizzazz. He's not going to have. He doesn't have Hogan's history.
He doesn't have
Flair's
an
history.
Ounce of Eddie's charisma.
No, nah. But few do.
Moxie.
Maybe Dominic.
That's he's Eddie's kid.
Well, he's Eddie's kid. Yeah. We've already established that. That's canon. That's
pretty much. I don't know why we were talking about that. Why'd you say it so weirdly?
20-year veteran.
Absolutely.
20+ year
20-year vet Dom.
Yeah.
Dom Mysterio.
Yep. Yeah, I think all in all, it's been a really, really good time. And again, I mean, just be able to go to a live show with Ian was also just, really, really great. And I think I'm gonna end it on a shameless plug. We got merch.
We do have merch.
We've got merch.
This is where we become Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
It's nothing crazy. We just got like a t-shirt, iPhone case for literally every iPhone in the market.
Yeah.
A mug and a desk mat. We'll probably be adding some more stuff. It's through Fourth Wall. If you do exclamation point merch, you'll get the link. But we'll probably add it to like our Twitch panels and everything like that. But hey, we really had like a true to form merch store before.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
hey, get some stuff. Probably see us wearing some of this stuff in our in the future streams and stuff like that.
For sure.
But just
I won't have a clear cup next time. No.
But yeah, I
And
think
in that cup I will only have coffee. It'll only be coffee or water, always.
well, yeah, this is Kool-Aid.
But yeah, that's what I thought.
Excellent. I'm drinking Kool-Aid. Never mind the scotch and the cigar on my shirt.
Nothing.
Promoting the healthy lifestyle here, people.
Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, this was awesome. It was a really, really great time. Definitely glad that it worked out, that we were able to pull this together, like really last minute.
It was just a random a random passing line that I threw out while we were on stream.
It was so funny because Ian sent me something earlier in the day, just some random deal where it was, and it went like it was just kind of like a throwaway line kind of deal. It was what is it? You're the one that asks people to get like, and I'm not saying you as an Ian, but it was the line was you're someone who asks people to get done. I'm the one people call to get things done.
You're asking, yeah.
Like, and it was like, and I sat back and you said that, and I was like, you talking about like throwaway line, like, oh, we could go, and I'm like, oh yes, we can.
We could go.
Yes, we can. We can do that. Yeah. This was just incredible. It's so fun because I'm kind of getting to the point where I feel like there's so many things I can say, and there's so many things that like I feel like I need to say, because more of the sense of how monumental it was to be there live is also really kind of starting to settle into me now that it's done and I can reflect back.
Which is another reason that I'm glad we didn't do the reflect back on the entire year. Sometimes it's better to kind of let it sit for a little bit, let it sit a week or so.
Yeah,
See where we're at. So I think it's really good that we'll do that next week.
Exactly. I think we'll have a lot more opportunity to kind of talk about it in context of everything, and we'll get more information about things behind the scenes, I'm sure, coming through that'll help kind of set context with it. But yeah, this was incredible. It was an awesome time. I'm definitely glad we pulled it together. If anyone, again, also, Ian touched on this earlier. If anyone went to the show, obviously, definitely let us know. Folks who watched the PLE, definitely let us know. Otherwise, just in terms of just your general thoughts about how things went down. Did you like the finish? Did you hate it? Are you mixed about it? Because I think everyone's falling into so many different variations of those three buckets, and which is also in a way
to reflect sometimes. Give it a few days and see where you're at. Yeah.
But also it means WWE effectively got what they wanted.
Yeah,
they got something people were talking about, because we didn't really touch on the finish. We'll save that for next week. Any other closing thoughts there, bud?
That's it. Join us next week. Make sure you join us next week. Festivus for the rest of us.
Yeah, get your pipe. Get your pipe
grievances.
Get your grievances, your list of grievances ready to go for the year, because this is the time to get them out, so you get all that negative energy out before you go and celebrate the holidays, if you celebrate the holidays. And it'll be a really, really fun time. We're just gonna get silly. But with that, this is Getting Worked, signing out.
Later, fam. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John. Gotta I'm gonna do the hand thing with the pinky thing.
Can't see it as well on mine. I can't. See y'all.